Good morning. Vlogmas day 23. A beautiful sunny day, cold, crisp, which is just a perfect winter's day, really, isn't it? I have an Earl Grey tea, which is the first kind of black tea I've drunk in a couple of weeks. I'm not slipping back into my old habits, promise. I want to keep my teeth looking a little brighter. I keep finding myself distracted. I'm getting all the ingredients out for this seitan loaf by a brand new vegan, which I've made a few times now. It's really good. And then I like, what was I doing? Where was I? Wandering off, staring into the distance, not focusing. Anyway, I'm at least prepared enough today that I am going to get this baked this morning. So when it comes to making the Philly cheesesteak sandwiches tonight with seitan, I will at least have it made, and it will be cold and easier to slice without burning my fingers, which is not normally the way I usually do it, because usually I bake it and then I try and slice it up while it's really hot. Ouch. There's another seitan recipe which I really like. It's called seitan saltado. And it's really easy because you just have chunks of the seitan, which is basically a wheat substitute made out of wheat gluten. And you just saute it up with a whole bunch of bell peppers, sliced bell peppers, and some other bits and pieces. And it's so easy and really tasty. I enjoy that. The barbecue soy curls came out well last night. We had them on buns with our coleslaw and our green salad, and it went down well. I did have a little prompt from son number 3 to say, when are you making the mince pies, mother? So I've got as you know, I've got the mince meat sitting in the fridge. It's been there for weeks, just waiting. I may make some today. I already have it on my to-do list to make them for Christmas Day, but once I've baked this loaf and we've had some lunch, plan is to go out, grab a cup of tea and go for a walk along the waterfront or something like that. So then this afternoon might be some cooking involved. So I'll just have to see whether I have time to make mince pies as well. It might have to be tomorrow instead. I know I have the ingredients for those at least. All right, this is not getting the loaf made, is it? I'm going to switch you off now. I'm not going to film it because it just slows me down even more. We have the seitan loaf sliced up thinly and being sauteed with red, yellow, and orange peppers. And then this is called a nacho cheese sauce, even though there's actually no cheese in it. Mainly potato, carrot, and a little bit of nutritional yeast and a couple of other things. And fried onions, for those who like fried onions. We have buns ready, and we are shortly going to fill our buns to overflowing. I'm afraid the lighting in here is a little bit dim, but hopefully you can see me. I've got three floor lamps on, and I bought them because, well, actually we bought 4, but the Christmas tree is in the way of one of them, so I had to move it over into the dining room. So really there should be lots of light, because I bought the extra light so that my friends could see their knitting and crocheting. Plus, the older I get, the crappier my vision gets as well, and the more light I need to see what I'm doing. I don't have my glasses or my contact lenses in right now, so I'm having to peer pretty closely at my seahorse. But at least the fabric is light, and it's a 14 count, not a... Oh, that's right, the little Christmas dog was 18 count. So the little X's were tinier, and I was using 6 strands. Nope, I wasn't. I was using 2 strands of the cross stitch thread, and with this one I'm using 3 because I want plenty of coverage. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. I pulled out my floss, and I've grouped them by blues, greens, purples and pinks, and hot colors like red, orange and yellow. Not interested in black, brown or white at this point, because I think that the seahorse will probably be a lot of blue and green and maybe purple, and then this circle here, whatever it's supposed to be, will probably be the hot colors. So what did we do today? I got a teeny tiny bit of film of some of it. That's right, we were home this morning and I prepped the seitan loaf for tonight's dinner. Faffed about, did a bit of knitting, made some progress on the cowl. And then, I think I'm going to unpick that one. After we had some lunch, we went downtown and we got a cup of tea, of course. And then we went for a walk through the downtown just to have a look at what the shops were. We don't really shop downtown. And it was just a good excuse to go strolling out in the sunshine. And even though the temperature was pretty low, it was nice in the sun and it wasn't too cold. All is quiet on the Western Front right now. I thought I would bring this embroidery upstairs and hang out upstairs in the living room, because my husband was watching Gardener's World. He does like Gardener's World. Actually, I quite like it sometimes too. That Monty Don has a very soothing voice. And I love the way all the gardeners are so passionate about their subject. Me? I'm not a gardener. I love to see the results of other people's efforts, but I'm afraid I'm a bit lazy when it comes to things like gardening, and I don't want to put the effort in. Anyway, Mr. Stitches has disappeared off downstairs. Kids have all disappeared off to their bedrooms, and it's just me. Me and my seahorse. I actually have quite a phobia of the sea, like deep sea. Both times we went to Maui, I was too much of a chicken to really go snorkeling, because I have a bit of a fear of bumping into a large fish or a turtle or something like that. I don't know why, but unfortunately it has limited me on those last 2 holidays, and I really need to just suck it up and get on with it. I'm running a line of blue, a fairly light blue. Can you see that? Up the top of the seahorse's nose at the moment. I'm hoping this isn't going to look stupid when it's done. It's Christmas Eve, as they say. 23rd. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. I don't mind going around the shops when it's Christmas time and they're busy, because I'm usually not frantic about buying last minute gifts or anything. And so it's easier when you're in that situation. If I suddenly decided I needed 10 gifts on Christmas Eve, then yes, I would be stressed, I would be pressured, and I would not be happy about it. And I'd probably be wanting to elbow all the shoppers out the way like the next person. But I never am. So, do you celebrate Christmas? Are you ready? Or do you have unfinished projects that you were hoping to give to people on Christmas Day morning? You have no hope of finishing them. That happens, doesn't it? So when I met my husband, his family all celebrated mostly on the 24th. His mum was Swiss, and they kind of adopted that main meal on the 24th rather than Christmas Day, or the gift giving was also the 24th. She probably cooked a nice meal on the 25th as well. But the main gift giving and the main dinner was Christmas Eve. And so we carried that on in our family once we had kids. So what we're doing tomorrow is having a proper dinner with, actually I'm probably going to be making that seitan loaf again, and I was kicking myself today because I thought I could have saved the electricity and cooked 2 loaves at once. Anyway, we're having the seitan loaf again, and I'll slice it up and we'll have gravy on it and Brussels sprouts and roast potatoes, and I'll make mince pies tomorrow. And then on Christmas Day, it'll be all about maybe having brunch of some kind, maybe pancakes, probably with the canned peaches that my friend gave me the other day as a gift. And the rest of the day will be at leisure. And I really like that, because you just think, well, all those other people are going nuts Christmas Day. We don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to see anyone outside our immediate family unless we really want to. And I don't have to cook a huge amount of food. There was one year, I'm pretty sure it was 1999, because my youngest son was 1. And we decided to surprise the family and show up on the doorstep without telling them. So we bundled the kids up and flew over. And initially, I think we turned up on my parents' doorstep first. I'm not sure why. Can't remember for sure now. But I think we turned up on my parents' doorstep, and they weren't really set up to put us up in any way. So we then went off to my in-laws' place, and of course they were happy to bring us in, throw some sheets on beds and put us up. And then, because it was really close to Christmas and everyone already had sort of made their plans for Christmas and New Year, we didn't really expect them to go and change their plans for us. But my sister ended up having New Year's Eve at her house. We had all the family around the table at her place, and the friend she was supposed to go to understood, seeing as we had turned up out of the blue, all the way from Canada. I really need to look ahead, because I keep making single crosses when I could actually go across and make a bunch of them in a line, which would speed the things up a little bit, maybe. Since the cancer diagnosis the other day, my husband's been amazingly level-headed and calm and accepting of it. He's obviously going to do what he can to increase his chance of healing from this thing. And I asked him earlier, I said, do you feel really exhausted at the end of the day? Like you've got this level of worry in the background that's sort of draining you all the day long? And he said no. And I was like, I do. I just feel exhausted. It feels like you're kind of not consciously always worrying about it, but you know you are. And you just want to go crawl under the covers in bed and just shut the world out, really, sometimes. And you're in this state of belief and disbelief at the same time. Going along to his appointment at the cancer centre yesterday was a way of making it feel more real. But it's still a part of me that can't really believe it. So what are you doing for Christmas Eve? Are you cooking? Are you wrapping gifts? Are you putting your feet up and crafting and looking after just you? Are you expecting a crowd? Do you even celebrate Christmas? One of the things I noticed as I was walking around downtown today is how annoying it is to have a shoulder bag. Shoulder bag just wants to slide off your shoulder, especially when you've got a winter coat on. And I really think the sooner I make myself a sling bag, the better. So what I'll do sometime soon is I will look through one of Johan's tutorials and I will plan for the fabric I'm going to use, which will probably be the denim and that lovely piece of granny square fabric that I showed you yesterday, and get all my bits and pieces together and get on with that. It's one of those slightly bigger projects that you should block out a decent bit of time for. I'm going to do a proper job of it. I should probably expect to spend a whole morning or a whole afternoon on it. I'm almost at the end of this first piece of blue and I think I'm going to change colour after this. It's a very relaxing pastime, I have to say. Except when you can't find the right hole for the needle to go through. Yeah. Doesn't look like much yet, does it? But I'll attempt to do a bit of colour blending as I do it, so it's not just sort of stripes of colour. So hopefully that'll work out looking good by the end of it. Well, that's probably enough waffling for today, isn't it? We're coming to the end of day 23. So all that remains is to say, have a good night, or a good day if you're watching this tomorrow. And I'll talk to you again next time. Thanks for watching.